A new Baker in the 704. Less carbs, more protein. Baker now going to battle fellow 2018 top 3 pick Sam Darnold for the starting job in training camp. We never got that joke before. All right, Nick, let's start here. Simple question. Will this work?
Well, I guess we'd have to define work. I mean, listen, congrats to Baker. He goes from a historically awful organization to simply a contemporaneously awful organization. This is, as bad of a starting quarterback job as there is in the NFL. So I'm a Baker guy, and I would have obviously rather he landed in a place such as Pittsburgh, but they weren't going to trade within the division, and Pittsburgh just drafted their guy. Or hell, a place such as Miami that I believe to be a quarterback away from being able to contend at a high level. Instead, he goes to Carolina. And I do want the audience to understand how bad the Panthers have been over the last few years, with leading into the Matt Rule era and right now during the Matt Rule era. We can show you the fewest wins in the NFL over the last 3 seasons. There are the Panthers with 5-5-5, which is 15 wins, the 5th fewest. Now, that is a massive upgrade to the last time he got to a new NFL team, the Cleveland Browns. We can show you that. The fewest wins over the 3 years leading into Baker's rookie season, when the Browns had 4. And he brought them to respectability and brought them to the playoffs, and this is how he is paid back. But, Brew, here's the problem for Baker. Matt Rule has the hottest seat in the NFL, and even if Baker plays well, I don't think the Panthers are good enough to make the playoffs. I don't think Baker is going to carry them, that team, that roster, that on offense has nothing but question marks aside from McCaffrey, and McCaffrey's question mark is his health, to the playoffs. So even if he plays well, he is likely next season, whether it's on the Panthers or somewhere else, going to be on his 6th head coach and his 6th offensive coordinator in his 6th NFL season. That is not a recipe for success, but obviously he's the best quarterback on their roster. Obviously, he will be the week 1 starter and start all year, assuming he's healthy. And obviously, this gives him a chance to get his career back on track. But I don't think the Panthers are going to be very good. No, if that's what work means.
All right, Jenna, let me say what Nick really wants to say in that litany of excuses he just gave us. No!
Excuse?
No. It's not going to work. All right, and first of all, Nick, your boy might not even start. Like, you act like it's a foregone conclusion. It is not. Now, I do agree with you. I think Baker Mayfield's better than Sam Darnold. He certainly has accomplished more than Sam Darnold. But over the past few years, he's also had far better running backs. McCaffrey last year for a few games, right? 7? Something like that. He's had better running backs. He's had better wide receivers. He's had a far better offensive line. All right, so again, I think he's better, but it has yet to be proven. Look, the Panthers are smart. It's an open competition. Both of you guys come in here for training camp, and the best man will win. That's how they should do it. And I will remind you that Sam Darnold looked really good in the first 3 games when he had a good running back, McCaffrey, playing behind him. Average almost 300 yards a game. They were 3-0. I get it. Fairly weak competition, but I'm just saying. Okay, so Baker is not going in there, riding in there on a white horse. He's not going to Carolina as the savior. He has a lot of obstacles in his path, Wildes. Number 1, he's going to find out, as I said, what it's like to go from a top 5 offensive line to a bottom 10 or maybe 5 offensive line with Carolina. I know they improved a bit in the offseason, we think, but it's still a bad offensive line. He is going to find out what it's like when your offense, let's face it, the offensive coordinator, Ben McAdoo, doesn't really believe in him. Ben McAdoo had him ranked 6th in the class of 2018 quarterbacks. Okay? One of his top receivers who's not a great receiver, but he's one of their best. Robbie Anderson clearly doesn't believe in him. He's already behind Baker in the offense. Now, he's had to learn new offenses, so maybe that'll help him, but he's going to be behind Darnold in terms of knowing the offense. Okay. So he has a lot of obstacles in his path, Nick, to beat out Darnold and get this starting job. I think he's better, but he's going to have to earn it. There's no guarantee he's going to even be playing.
There is a guarantee. Listen, we can discuss about how well he will.
What's the
because
guarantee?
Darnold's the worst starting quarterback in the NFL. Can we show the numbers?
Oh, okay.
Darnold, forget his rookie season. Don't hold that against him. Forget his second season. Guys. These are Sam Darnold's ranks the last 2 years. There's only 32 teams, okay? He's in the 40s and 50s in everything. The Wildes. You don't think that Baker's the starting quarterback for the Carolina Panthers. They can say it's a competition.
No, he isn't.
Because everybody likes to breed competition.
Just say it.
Okay.
He's not.
Nick,
what do you mean then just
they only agreed to take Baker Mayfield when he agreed to take a $3.5 million pay cut. Really?
Pay cut.
He had to take a $3.5 million pay cut for him to even take him. Come on, man, stop it. He might earn it. I think he's better, but he's got to earn it. Ben McAdoo and Matt Rule aren't like, we got our guy. We got our guy.
Okay.
Go out.
Well, that's
okay. I mean,
so I want to talk about the quarterback competition. No, I get it. They just traded for him. But knowing that Baker is going to have probably a little bit of confidence issues coming into a new place, what is the value of saying it's an open competition? Why not say, you know what? We've got our guy. We expect Baker to lead this team week 1. He's going to be on the field. Do you think that Baker would take his foot off the gas? Because I think it would be a definitive statement to the team and to the fan base that Baker's the guy, and give Baker a little bit of extra, confidence that it seemed like he was lacking. I know outwardly he projects himself as a confident guy, but not when viral videos are out there and trashing him. I think if I was in charge of the Panthers, I would say Baker's our guy.
Okay, but the problem with that is, while Sam Darnold's a terrible, terrible quarterback, he's a good and liked guy within that team. And Baker is a polarizing figure in the media and in locker rooms. And so you all of a sudden just saying, before he has stepped on the field, before any of these guys have played with him, he's our starting quarterback. A lot of teams never say that. There are certain teams, Belichick's one of them, that won't declare a starter at any position ever, except for Brady the whole era, that it's always competition. Guys, there are a lot of things, Brew, we can debate about Baker Mayfield that I think are total fair debates. But the idea that the Panthers drafted a quarterback this year, they're paying Darnold a boatload of money. Yet despite all of that, they took on some salary and gave up a draft pick to bring in Baker Mayfield. It's not to be a backup quarterback. They obviously, Brew, are doing this because they know how bad Darnold is. You don't do this to get a backup quarterback when you traded an extra pick to get a backup quarterback in Matt Corral. And they have a backup quarterback.
They gave up 3 picks for Darnold. They're paying Baker Mayfield less than $5 million. They're paying Mayfield less than $5 million a year. Like I said, he took a $3.5 million pay cut. Maybe he'll earn it back with the incentives, but all of that was necessary for Carolina to say, sure, we'll take him. All I'm saying, Nick, is the notion that he's walking in that building and Matt Rule and Ben McAdoo are like, this is our guy. It's false. Now, if he earns it, more power to him. But he better earn it. That's all I'm saying.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.